Hello, everybody. What is good? Today, I am doing a word. It's called Ask Juliana. This is something that we do weekly, and you're absolutely welcome to submit a question. I'll put the details below to submit a question. But this week, we got a question that was one in which a lot of people were saying the same thing in their own words, right? And essentially, the context to what they were saying was, why do I keep encountering challenges and problems, right? Isn't there some point, basically, that I will get to where I don't have to constantly be trying to figure out how to solve problems? Isn't there a level that I can get to, whether it's a certain level of financial success or a certain level of just breaking through enough problems where I don't encounter them like that anymore, right? So I'm going to dive into some of my thoughts on this message, and hopefully this will empower you to think differently if you find yourself in the same position. So first and foremost, like the title of this message, it is imperative that you recognize that problems require energy to live. Like anything, right? We give things energy by the attention, by the focus that we give them, right? So if we are focusing 100% of our time on problems, we will see problems everywhere. So that is one of the first things to recognize, that problems need energy to live, okay? So the other thing that I want to highlight here is that problems are actually growth opportunities. They're actually growth opportunities. And I know that that sounds really annoying, particularly when you have a problem in front of you that you don't have a solution for, but they are growth opportunities, okay? So here is what you can keep in mind. 90% of your energy, you want to focus on being a solutionary, so to speak, or being resourceful or finding solutions to the problem. You want to focus a majority of your energy on the solution, not the problem. One of the biggest things that this does is it literally changes your physiology. So when we have problems, what we often do is we start experiencing that in our body. Our mind starts racing. We start breathing really shallow. Sometimes we're hunched over and all freaked out, right? We really respond different. And whenever we're in stress, we do not respond to a problem with a solution. We often make it worse. So it's really important to spend all of your energy on solutions, because that will literally keep you in a confident state. That will keep you in a creative state. That will keep you in a resourceful state that will allow you to be available for the best guidance and direction to come to you. So you want to be in a position to receive the answer to the problem that you're facing, okay? So the other reason why this is really important to spend 90% of your energy on the solutions is that literally the quality of our lives is dependent on the quality of our emotions, right? Think about that. The emotions that you're living every day with, what are they? Are they faith? Are they hope? Are they love? Are they expectancy? Are they joy, right? Is it peace? Is it creativity? What are you spending a majority of your emotions on? Is it depression? Is it discouragement? Is it disappointment? Is it frustration? Is it anger? Is it anxiety? Is it overwhelm, right? Depending on where you are and somewhere in between, your quality of a life is totally impacted by the energy that you are putting in motion, your emotions, right? The quality of your life is dependent, or it's a direct result of your emotional states that you're living in a majority of the time. So that's why it's so important to spend a majority of that energy that you're putting in motion on emotions that feel good, okay? Because that, again, keeps you in a very high operating state that can bring the best results and best solutions to the table, okay? Now, emotions, what's really important, that energy that we're putting in motion, that comes from the meaning or the story or the narrative that we give to a thing. And we're the ones that do that. So you got to be radically responsible for the meaning that you assign to something, okay? So our emotions come from the meaning or the story that we're telling about a problem, all right? So you can see, again, if you're spending 90% of your energy on solutions, then you're approaching a problem with very different energy, and it probably will remove that problem pretty quickly, okay? So, yeah. I get it. Hopefully this is landing, but now what? Now what? What is a process or a mindset or something that I can use, some sort of formula, if you will, that I can apply to problems as they come about? What can I do? And this actually, I've paid a lot of coaches for this. I work with a lot of clients and tell them the same thing, but it's essentially these 3 steps. Okay. Number 1 is make a decision. Oh man, a lot of the anxiety, a lot of the fear, a lot of the confusion, a lot of the back and forth, that is coming from not making a decision. It's coming from being indecisive. It's coming from overwhelming ourselves with so many options when we just need one. We just need one. There's no perfect decision, but we need to make one, right? So that's number 1, is make a decision. Really great leaders, excellent leaders are decisive, right? And they take ownership of their decisions as well. Number 2 is flood yourself with certainty. So a lot of times what we do when we, again, are in fear or anxiety or stress or overwhelm, we attach meaning from that place. So we attach meaning that is worst case scenario. We attach meaning of our world falling apart. We attach meaning that just makes us even more stressed out and freaked out, right? So what you want to do instead is the reverse. You want to flood yourself with why is this solution going to work? Why are you the one that is designed and fit to solve this problem? Why is this a growth opportunity? Why is this actually a good thing, right? How can I actually show up to this and be a solutionary, right? That is very, very different. So you want to flood yourself with that kind of certainty, because then it will actually help you to put energy in motion. And once you do that, again, once you decide and once you got the right energy backing you up, you have momentum working with you, okay? And it becomes easier in that way. And then lastly, take the action. So you've decided, you're certain, you're sure, you've got this confidence, right? Now take the inspired action that you're given, and don't delay, don't procrastinate, just take the action. Because a lot of times we get the feedback when we're in motion, but you're not going to get any feedback when you're stalling or when you're procrastinating, okay? So, couple of pointers here. You cannot execute at a high level if you have doubt and uncertainty just literally flooding you. You cannot operate at a high level. That is why it's so important to do the opposite and flood yourself with certainty so that doubt and uncertainty can't block you, okay? And can't kind of get you off the path or distract you, because that's really what they're there to do. Also, there is no perfect plan or decision, but you've got to make one and you've got to have one. A lot of times when we make a decision, we start having a plan, we can pivot and we can redefine and realign as we're in action. But when we don't make a decision, we can't do that. And a lot of times that just leads us to overanalyzing and beating ourselves up, which is causing a mess and really not moving forward, right? And then what you really want to practice here by using this as a formula that's ongoing is just building this habit of being a problem solver, of being a solutionary, of being somebody that is able to approach problems as growth opportunities, not as something that holds you back, not as something that limits you, but something that calls you higher. To actually, this is what people don't like to hear, but it's actually an indicator of progress, right? That's why it's showing up. Why does it keep happening? Because you're progressing, right? It is a farce or a lie or a myth that once you hit a certain level, the problems just disappear. You get different problems, right? You've heard the saying probably that every next level requires a different version of you, or new levels, new devils, right? So there's going to be new challenges. There's going to be new opportunities to grow. There's going to be new things that could catch you off guard, right? But there are things that you can do. You can get control of your mind. You can get control of your physiology. You can choose the meaning that you're going to assign to this, the decisions that you're going to make, how you flood yourself with certainty, and the action that you take. You have a lot of power, but when we just shut down, we lose all of it. We make it way, way worse. And often we get stuck in problems when we're meant to grow through them, okay? So a couple of other things to build on these 3 steps. What you really are doing when you're deciding is you are changing your perspective. You're assigning new meaning to things, because usually the first meaning that you assign is a fear-based one, okay? So when you get the right perspective, you choose intentionally what this is going to mean for you, okay? Next, you develop a process. If this were to go well, if this were to turn out the way I can see and the way I want right now, why do I want that? Why is that a good thing? What does that look like? What does that require of me? What am I willing to do? What am I not willing to do, right? Getting that clarity is what actually stirs up, again, that certainty and that confidence for you to then take the action, okay? Then what you want to do is get resourceful. Get resourceful, right? We don't like to hear that, but you are a resourceful being, okay? So yes, when your energy is in the right place, different solutions can come to you, but who do you know? Who can help you? Who's an expert in this area? Who is in your network? Who's dealt with this before? You can get resourceful. And one of the ways that I recommend doing this is getting it out on paper. So sometimes we just keep things stuck up in our brain. It seems so much bigger when it's just in our head. So when you get it out, you can actually see it. And that starts the process of being resourceful, all right? Then what you want to do, I recommend this being number one, to be frank, but know that you're being guided. Know that you're being guided, right? You're not on your own. God is guiding and establishing your steps. Submit your plans to the Lord, or there's actually a verse, it's Proverbs 16:3, I believe, that says, roll your works upon the Lord, and he will cause your thoughts to align with his good plans and his purposes for your life. And he will then cause your plans to be established and to succeed. You're being guided, right? If there's any force, if there's anything working with you, you want it to be that God power. You want supernatural added to your natural. So know that you have that. A lot of times, that's the first thing to go, strangely enough, when we face a problem. That should be the first thing that you stand on, or that you count on, or that you praise, or you give thanks for. Okay. 2 more things. Lean into what you can learn. Lean into what you can learn. What that does, aside from initially being annoying, what that does is it trains your body, again, to be a decision maker. It trains your body to be in a habit of problem solving, to not freak out, but to actually problem solve, right? To not let this be a bad thing or a sign meaning that lowers you or that takes you out, but it allows you to embrace, ooh, this is teaching me this, or if I lean into this, then I'm going to grow in this way. This is helping me to X, Y, or Z. When you start thinking like that, you can really start to enjoy, which is the last one, enjoy the process of problem solving, right? If I'm going to accept that problems and challenges or things that are going to be growth opportunities in my life are going to come, right? That's a part of life. If I'm going to accept that and I'm going to spend a lot of time solving problems, then how can I enjoy this? How can I enlist the help of other people to tackle this with me? How can this actually become fun for me? How can I express healthy emotions and have a higher quality of life, even in the midst of facing things that are challenging? How can I do that? That's an opportunity, right? So 75, I like to remind myself of this, 75% of problems is all psychology. It's all what we make up and what we determine in our mind. And that is on us at the end of the day. And 25% is actually the action. Okay? So if that's the case, I need to think about what I'm thinking about. I need to meditate on the right things, right? And intentionally do those initial 3 steps, make decisions, flood myself with certainty and faith, and then take the divinely inspired actions as they come with instant obedience. No procrastination in there, right? When the time is right, I take the action. I don't put it off and say I'm going to do it later. If I get the inspired action, take the action. Okay? So a key reminder, the question again, why do I keep having problems come up? Why am I always in challenges and facing struggles? I would say it's first, check your psychology, right? Is there something that you're believing that is causing you to see and believe that? Is there something that you have, this core belief that is in you that expects problems, expects life to be hard, expects life to be challenging? What is that? Okay, so check your psychology. Then check, are you being resourceful, right? Are you putting a majority of your energy on the problem, or are you putting 90% of your energy on the solution? Okay, and then what is your view? about growth. What is your expectation there? Because maybe you have an unrealistic expectation that can be addressed. Okay, so I hope these steps helped you and that you will apply that either right now or when your next opportunity comes. If you have a question to submit for this Ask Juliana video, you can do so by emailing info.julianapage@gmail.com. You can also connect with me at julianapage.com or follow me on social media. So you can follow me on Instagram at Miss Juliana Page. It's MS Juliana Page. Facebook. You can also listen to the Spirit-Filled Real Talk podcast wherever you get your podcasts. And if you haven't subscribed here, I would love it and appreciate it so much if you would subscribe and follow and share this with a friend. All right, guys, until next time, stay blessed.